talk to Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of The Comic Hall. This is Dylan Lang, your host, coming to a little earlier than usual because right now I have the house to myself. I have to give congrats to my nephew, Drew, who is getting his Eagle Scout today. My wife and my kids decided they wanted to go down and see him. I couldn't because I can't take off work, so I got to save my vacation time for later in the fall when school's back in session, and I have to take days off for the kids because there's lots of days off in the school year. But other than that, it is 4th of July kind of weekend, and I'm a little pissy right now because I do not have the 3rd off, which is a Monday. I have to go into work on the 3rd, then off on Tuesday, and then back to work on Wednesday. It's kind of stupid and it stinks, but not much I can do about that. But what I can do about that is it is 4th of July weekend for most parts coming up. In a lot of the year, local comic book stores are going to be doing nice sales. My comic book store, which will be doing a great sale starting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 50% off of basically everything in the store, and then 20% off of some of the older back issues. But I can't wait because I think I'm going to finally go out and buy some new pops because I can do it now. 50% off, you can basically get 2 for the price of 1. Maybe some trades I'm looking forward to get as well. So all good. So go to your local comic book store, find out what they've got going on this weekend. Maybe they got a special offer going on, and pick up some pretty cool stuff. They also have some new comics coming out for this weekend just in time. And here are the ones that I bought this week. Now, again, as always, these are not every comic that came out this week. These are just comics that I bought. If I bought every comic that came out this week, it would cost a lot of money. I would say it would cost around $500 to get all the comics that came out this week. No joking. So on that note, we're just going to talk about the ones that I did get. Continuing our streak from last week where a lot of the DC Rebirth books are hitting their 25, which means a lot of the $2.99 books are now going to be $3.99 just for the one issue. We got 2 more this week. First up is the final issue Greg Rucka's run of Wonder Woman. It's Wonder Woman number 25. Kind of depressing because Greg Rucka's run has been excellent as always, and it's been a lot of fun. So Greg Rucka is the writer. Where is the creative team? I think it's in the back here. Greg Rucka, Liam Sharp, Bilquis Evely are the creative team. So you get both artists on here from here, so you get some of the Liam Sharp stuff going on. Wonder Woman taking out like a Bigfoot type of creature, and other story threads. Bilquis, I think this is Bilquis's work, getting answered and planned out. And here's some more Liam Sharp stuff. So Wonder Woman number 25 is out this week, ending Greg Rucka's run. Also this week is Flash number 25, which details the origin of the Reverse Flash. This one is written by Joshua Williamson with Carmine D. Giandomenico, Neil Googe, and Ryan Sook on art. So again, like with that one, you have a couple more than one artist on it. So we're getting some Flash stuff going on. So Flash number 25. If I can find some of the Sook artwork, because I like Ryan Sook's artwork. I think here's some right here. So, and I think this is Neil Googe. I think I showed Neil. Yeah, I showed Neil Googe's stuff already. I'll show some more of it. This Neil Googe's stuff, and then Carmine's stuff here at the back. So Flash number 25 is out this week. So what does that leave? Well, that leaves a few more 2025s coming up still. I think Harley Quinn, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps are still to come. There might be a few others I can't think of the top of my head. But before we get to those, we get Detective Comics number 959, which guest stars one of my favorite characters, Zatanna. And it looks like James Tynion IV is continuing the Zatanna-Bruce Wayne relationship. Not like they're dating because Bruce Wayne's in love with Catwoman in the DC Batman universe. But Zatanna was introduced in, well, not introduced, but in the Batman animated series, she was an episode where Batman went and learned from her dad, Zatara, and her, and they were around the same age. So they sort of had a minor, teenage crush relationship type of thing. And so in this book, they sort of continue that aspect of it. James Tynion, the fourth writer, Alvaro Martinez pencils, and Raul Fernandez inks. It looks really good. We get some Zatanna and Bruce Wayne relationship stuff, which I think is one of my favorite superhero relationship things that doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship, but I like the friendship that they have. And this continues Detectives Batman team. So some good stuff. I just spoke about this, Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern Corps, number 23, about 2 more issues before we get to number 25. So we'll probably get a double-sized issue in a little bit, sometime in July. Written by Robert Venditti with art by Ethan Van Sciver. So it's good to see Ethan Van Sciver on the book occasionally, every once in a while, popping up. So continuing the Green Lantern storyline. That's been going on in town here. So it's weird. It's like every page is like ad and then paperwork. So good stuff here. Batgirl number 12 is out this week. Written by Hope Larson with art by Eleonora Carlini, pencils and inks. It's very kind of manga-esque artwork. But it's Batgirl. Batgirl's a fun book. I think this is a standalone issue, so there's really not much connection to anything else going on. And I think it ends, yeah. And then you get a different storyline. So pretty good story there. Action Comics number 982. Revenge, the Revenge Squad. Dan Jurgens is writer. Jack Herbert and Jose Luis pencils. Jack Herbert and Ray McCarthy inks. So it's the Superman Revenge Squad coming after Superman. And I love I have to show the ending. So spoiler alert, this isn't the ending just yet. But I like this idea. So I think next issue is going to be great. You get the superhero friends battle. All the Superman are coming to help Superman, so including Lex Luthor, which is really funny. So I like that. Teen Titans number 9. This is on the outside looking in. This might be one of my last issues I'd pick up on this. Nothing against it, just I need to start cutting stuff, and I think this might be one place I'll look. It's Benjamin Percy script, Phil Hester layouts, Quo Fam pencils, Trevor Scott inks. So this is just one book that I'm just considering might be getting dropped really soon. So we'll see what happens. Black Manta's showing up here. All kinds of stuff. So we'll see. Not that it's, as I said, not that it's a bad series, just I need to start cutting back on comics. And that one, here's another one. It's on the cusp as well. Justice League of America, number 9, Steve Orlando, writer, artwork by Felipe Watanabe, inks by Scott Hanna. I thought Ivan Reyes was going to do the artwork for this, but he's only done like 2 issues, and that's been about it. And it's an interesting Justice League team, but again, I just need to start finding cuts where I need to. Again, not that it's a bad series. It's not. It's just I need to find cuts where I can. So those 2 might not be around for much longer. But go out and buy them and make your own decisions. That's it for the Rebirth books. The Commandy Challenge number 6. I'm going to stick with this through issue 12. Jack Kirby's 100th birthday is this year. Actually, it was because it already passed, but they're going to be celebrating Jack Kirby all year long. They've got some Jack Kirby-esque stuff coming up later this summer. So it should be interesting. But this is Steve Orlando writer, Philip Tan pencils, Norm Rapmud ink. The premise is very interesting. The premise is each issue has a different creative team, different writer, different artist. And what they do is they create a cliffhanger ending, and then the next team on has to solve the cliffhanger and continue telling their story, and then set up their own cliffhanger at the end. And then the next team has to go on and so forth. So it's a neat idea, and it's a pretty good story. So Command D, experiment. Just want to get these straight. Command D challenge, excuse me. Next up, we have Batman and the Shadow number 3. Surprised it took that long to get Batman and the Shadow to team up, but here they are again. And again, Steve Orlando and Scott Snyder. And I should have known Scott Snyder was involved because, hey, look, it's the Joker. I'm so sick of the Joker. And Scott Snyder just seems to have a Jones for the Joker. I'm just so utterly sick of the Joker right now. But the fact that it's the Shadow and Batman, that's why I keep coming back to this. Riley Rossimo is the artist. So, ooh, what's that? All kinds of shadows stuff. So Batman Shadow is a great idea. So continue to get that as well. Continuing the Batman Looney Tunes one-shots, we got Batman and Elmer Fudd. Yes, you read that right. Batman and Elmer Fudd. Tom King, Lee Weeks. You get a little bit of, you get Elmer Fudd in there, and you also get Batman. So it's kind of an interesting, and you get Lee Weeks doing the art for it. So pretty interesting, and it's a pretty interesting interpretation of it. Now, with all these books, you get the main story, and then you get a cartoon story. So you get the realistic story, and then you get the cartoon story. So the cartoon story is written by Tom King with art by Byron Vaughns. So Tom King actually wrote this, but Byron Vaughns did it in the form of the cartoon. So I think that's pretty clever on that end. And the final one of these team-ups, Jonah Hex and Yosemite Sam, which I think is a great idea because it brings Jimmy Palmiotti back to Jonah Hex, who was fantastic. Mark Teixeira, who did a great run of art on the series, and Paul Mounts as well. So we get some really interesting stuff. And you get Foghorn Leghorn makes an appearance as well in this as well, and plays actually a major role in the storyline. Let's see if I can find some Foghorn Leghorn. Here we go. He's a boxer, so he's boxing. So, and again, as I said, you get the main story, and then you get a cartoon story. This one is written by Bill Hathany with art by Dave Alvarez. So you get cartoon Jonah Hex taking on cartoon Yosemite Sam. So again, DC doing a great job with their Hanna-Barbera and Looney Tunes crossover. So we'll see whatever else they got down the line. I don't think they really have anything else in their pipeline they could do a crossover with. So unless they decide to do different ones, that might be all you see for a while, but it's still clever things. The final regular DC book we have is Supergirl Being Super number 4. It's the final issue of the miniseries. Again, this is one of those which I haven't read yet, but it just seems to me one of those that it's going to become a modern classic, just because usually when they do the 48-page prestige format series, it's pretty good. And you get Mariko Tamaki and Joelle Jones doing the story and art. Mariko Tamaki is writer, Joelle Jones' artwork. So you get a good, fun Supergirl storyline that I think down the line will be considered a classic. Some good stuff there. So that's the final issue of that. That's it for regular DC. From Vertigo, we have Astro City. I keep talking about how great this book is, and I'm going to keep getting it. I'm going to keep talking about how great it is until the cows come home. This is issue number 45. Kurt Busiek and Brett Anderson, creative team. Kurt Busiek, writer, Brett Anderson, artist. Alex Ross did character designs and the covers. They've been the team forever, since the 90s when Astro City started. If your local comic book store has deals, 50% off a trade paperback, stuff like that, pick up Astro City trade paperbacks. Just start with the first one, Life in the Big City, and just roll through all of them. You will not regret it. Astro City is great, and the comic is still going strong. This is issue number 45. So still going strong. So definitely go and check out Astro City. From Young Animal, we have Mother Panic #8, Jody Hauser, John Paul Leon. Another really interesting book. Well worth it. That's it for DC stuff. Marvel-wise, we have Ben Reilly, the Scarlet Spider, what number is this? Number 4. Peter David, Mark Bagley, John Dell, and Andrew Hennessy. Just the creative team is fantastic. I love Mark Bagley artwork. I love Peter David writing, and you get both of them together. It's a fairly interesting series. So take it what you will. Oops, that's the cover for the next issue there. So Amazing Spider-Man number 29. I'm not collecting the Secret Empire books itself, but I am collecting Amazing Spider-Man, so I had to get the crossover. Alex Ross covers, Dan Slott and Christos Gage are the writers, Stuart Immerman and Wade von Grauberger Bauer are the artists. So you get an appearance by the Superior Octopus taking on Spider-Man. So there's that. Also from Secret Empire, we have the Mighty Captain Marvel number 6. Margaret Stoll, Michelle Bandini, creative team. So this is their Secret Empire crossover. And my wife loves Captain Marvel, so I got that for her mostly. And finally, Droids Unplugged, a one-shot by Chris Eliopoulos, who wrote the script and the art for all of them. It's 3 stories. First one focusing on the probe droids. Second one focusing on R2-D2. And the third one focusing on BB-8. Chris Eliopoulos is the artist on the I Am books written by Brad Metzler, which takes a look at historical figures, and Chris does the artwork for them. And it's really a good book series, and that's a good comic book series. It's going to be fun. So that's it for Marvel. Clue number 1. I've been looking forward to this for a while. They actually made a comic book of the board game. There's also a movie that came out in 1985, which is one of mine and my wife's favorite movies. So now they're doing a comic. It's a 6-issue miniseries, I think, and everything is going to have alternate endings. It's written by Paul Allor with art by Nelson Daniel. So it's basically Clue, and people are going to start dying, and you got to figure out who did it. So and it's going to be similar to the board game, and in the end, you're going to have the final issue. You're going to have multiple covers with multiple endings. So the final issue is going to be expensive to me because I probably want to buy all the endings, and that's good money building stuff on IDW's part. So Clue number 1's out today, today. And if you liked the board game, if you like the movie, just go ahead and check out the comic book also. Why not? Or if you want just something different than regular comic books, check that out as well. Greg Rucka is moving on from Wonder Woman to his creator-owned book with Nicola Scott, Black Magic. The newest issue, number 6, is finally out. The first 5 issues came out a while ago. The trade came out. And then they got back to work on this one. Nicola Scott worked on Wonder Woman for a little while, then left to start getting up the second series of Black Magic. It's a witch police officer type of thing. Pretty good. And so Black Magic is back. Rough Riders number 4 is basically the American version of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, taking Theodore Roosevelt, Nikola Tesla, Annie Oakley, Thomas Edison, Jake Johnson, Harry Houdini, Monk Eastman, all in charge of stuff. So it's written by Adam Glass with art by Patrick Olaf. This is the second miniseries featuring the Rough Riders. You don't mess with Theodore Roosevelt, which is funny. So looks like in this part, the Rough Riders have been getting attacked, and so they're trying to figure out who did it. And so they're working together for that. Eleanor the Egret number 3, Sam Keith is back, this time with John Layman doing the story. It's a bizarre story, but Sam Keith is back on a regular book, so it's fun to see his artwork again. And again, if you're looking for something different than your usual comics, Eleanor and the Egret number 3 is out this week as well. And we wrap up with The Power of the Dark Crystal number 4, Simon Spurrier and Kelly and Nicole Matthews. My wife is a huge Dark Crystal fan, so I mostly got this for her. So that's out as well. So if you like the Dark Crystal, there you go. That's it for this week. As I said, 4th of July is kind of this weekend. Next week's comics will be out on Wednesday, July 5th. And I will continue to be pissed about not being off on Monday, July 3rd, but, you know, have a good weekend coming up. Go to local comic book store, see if they got any special sales going on for the weekend. If they do, if they have 50% off trades or pops or whatever, go for it and go pick up some comics also. That's the main reason why I do this show, is to get you to get out, go to your local comic book store, buy comics, and keep the stores in business and keep comic books alive. So this is the last one for June. Next week it'll be July, and we will have no holiday until Labor Day by the time you see this the next episode of the show. So I do have another show called Dylan Knows. It's coming out sometime this weekend. I'm probably aiming for Saturday night again, but I think there's some firework thing going on. We'll see. Sunday we're going to go to Gettysburg, so I probably can't really do it during the day, so we'll see what happens. So it'll be sometime this weekend. Other than that, I got nothing else. Take care. Happy 4th of July. Be safe out there. If you're driving or fireworks or grilling or whatever, just be safe. Celebrate the 4th of July. If you are not from the United States, have a good next week. Enjoy yourself. And, you know, if you're from Canada, happy Canada Day on July 1st. So on that note, see you later. Go buy comics. Enjoy yourself. Bye-bye.